person. But he's like, now we just hit his knee. And like, was that like Kip or was that us? It was a little bit of both. We do that too. We can literally like sync it up. Um, but like, Carrie, this doesn't sound like Kip's voice either, right? Like Kip doesn't talk like that. Kip doesn't have an accent. I mean, he has a slight Southern accent, and sometimes when you're talking to someone, we really kick that accent up a lot. Well, that wasn't really much of a Southern accent or Texan accent, but like, sometimes we're talking to him, we're like, who do I sound like now? Who do I sound like now? And we're fucking it up intentionally. Like, there's no point to it. But Carrie, but you really think like Kip's doing impersonations, and then sometimes we go into like a Kermit the Frog voice, which I'm not doing right now intentionally, and I'm fucking it up. Kip's not choosing to do his voice this way. Kip's not choosing to change his voice at all. I'm choosing to change his voice for him because I'm using a VoiceToSkull technology with the rest of my team. You think I'm choosing to make his? You think Kip's sending this to you like he's making this up? Like a crazy person, and like that person would intentionally send that to you, knowing that it's gonna make them look like a crazy person, Gary. Like, come on, use your head. Like, I know it like looks like crazy, but it's not. And we do this because it sounds like I'm on a side, right? And it's like I'm not. It's like no, but I wish I was, but like, and that is the truth. Like, I wish we had like stopped this like so long ago, but we're kind of in it. We're in it so deep right now. You know what I mean? And it's like I know it's in our best interest to stop anyway and come clean, or at least like stop and leave them alone. But we're kind of addicted to them, and we're kind of addicted to this, and like some of us are sick of it and some of us aren't. And Kip doesn't believe or disbelieve that, but I gotta tell you, Carrie, I gotta tell you, you're doing the wrong thing. And like Kip's been saying like for months now, like day after day, and we're saying this through him, so that's why he's saying it so much. But he keeps saying like I concur with that too, but he's like, you keep making the biggest mistake of your life. And the letter that I sent to you over 2 years ago, and we're like, no, it was the second time he was in jail. No, it was the first time he was in jail, right? When he lost the weight, or the second time. It doesn't matter. No, he got commissary when he was in there, right? Yeah, he did. He didn't blow up his dad. The second time was the first time. So that was over 3 years ago. So Carrie, over 3 years ago, like again, and Kip wrote your letter. He's like, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. That letter, and then like you didn't believe it, and like it's gotten worse since then. And Carrie, you did say that you believed 50% of what he said when it was at the Grove, which is still an insult to him. And then later you said 5%, and you do literally, because of us, you literally keep changing like Kip's stories, and like you didn't live through it, and you're like, well, maybe they took blood from the second blood draw, from the second stick. And Kip's like, why would I be complaining about that, Dad? Because if they did take it from the second stick, then there wouldn't be a problem. Like, why would I say that it was an assault? No, they took blood. She said she didn't get any. I looked down, or Kip looked down, saw that she had taken some, and it's very easy to get blood from Kip. Like, no one ever has problems getting blood from Kip. No one ever has to try again and again and again and again. Except like that one guy who's a medical assistant, but he hadn't taken blood very much. But again, Kip's a very easy blood draw. Um, she'd already taken blood, and then Kip wasn't being paranoid or anything. He wasn't on anything. He wasn't sleep deprived, Robin. He was like, oh, well, maybe she said that she didn't get enough, so she lost the vein or something, and like I don't know why she wouldn't try again. But it's like he didn't really think anything of it. He's like, okay, whatever. I looked down, and he saw it, and he was like, I don't know, maybe she didn't get enough. She got another lady to come in, and she literally went to the other arm in a very specific place too, because we chose that place and we made her do that. We put her up to it. And it's sad that you don't believe that story, Carrie. Like you think that like that normally happens to someone. You keep disbelieving like all these incredible, they're not even that incredible stories. They wouldn't normally happen to someone. And it's like you literally think he's having these unfortunate events, and you're like, oh, it's drugs, which is why we prey on people that like, and he wasn't even using drugs like before us, like like sporadically, occasionally, like he tries, recreationally, he would just like you do, you know, but he doesn't have an addiction. He didn't have an addiction. We sort of created one when we're like, torturing him every single day, and then like he chooses to use meth like, one time a week, or then he goes months without even using it, and then like he'll do it like again, and then like maybe the next week, or maybe like a month later, or maybe 2 months later, or whatever. It's like that's not heavy drug usage, Carrie, and it doesn't fuck with your brain to the point where it fucks it up. Like hey, Carrie, like you're going through like you were an alcoholic, and you also had a bad reaction to pot, probably shitty pot too, and you had a bad reaction to it. Kid does not have a bad reaction to it. It's like even though you were a happy drunk, he's a happy drunk too. But again, he wasn't an alcoholic. It's like, so the fact that he wasn't an alcoholic, even though you were, and that Dre's parents were too. Um, like, and he wasn't an alcoholic, even though we went through a drinking period. Again, it wasn't like a drinking period. Like, you go out to clubs like every, not every Friday and Saturday night, but sometimes he would for a few weeks, and then like he wouldn't, maybe just the Friday or maybe just the Saturday, maybe not at all. And like, so like if he was gonna have an addiction problem, like that alcohol thing would have kicked up. Because alcohol is more addictive than meth. Meth does not have a physical addiction. uh, if he was going to be an addict, it would have happened then, or when he tried pot, or when he tried meth, it didn't. So again, he uses it as a self-medicating point, knowing that it's going to be used against him, if ever something bad happens. But it's like he might have killed himself if he hadn't used it. As Kip said, he's like, it's faster than Prozac. And again, what we used to do is we used to like not torture him when he used it, so we kind of coerced him into using it. And again, it was like an escape. And then it, like, this past year, and again, he wasn't using it every day. He wasn't even using it every week, and sometimes he went months without using it, weeks or months without using it. And he was actually honest with you one time. He was like, "Yeah, I did use." He's like, "The best month I bought." He was like, "About $40 worth of it." And it was really more like 20, like $10 or $20 worth of it. And I got high a couple of times, like 2, 3 times. I think it was like 2 or 3 times, like in less than a 24-hour period. And I wasn't sleep deprived. You know.